This is Poké Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together. I'm Oren, and I'm here joined by my good close friend. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ivan. I'm with Chard.
And I am from Block and Pixel, and together we make up Poké Collab. And we are here today to do just that, to collaborate on Pokemon stuff. And there is a lot to cover and talk about. So much has happened since our last episode. Our episode we haven't recorded in some time, so there's a lot to talk about. So we'll get right into it. I'll do a quick overview of our outline for this show, and then we'll get started. So first of all, today's date is June 6th. Just yesterday, the Nintendo Switch 2 came out. So that's just to give you an idea of where we are in the stream of time for this episode and where our minds are at as to what we're thinking about and talking about. First, we're going to talk about the new black and white trading card game set that's going to be coming out. And then Ivan's going to be going over some general TCG pocket stuff that he wants to talk about. Then we're going to talk about the Switch 2 a little bit and Switch 2 games. And believe it or not, some Switch 2 games work in the Nintendo Switch 1. So we're going to talk about that for a little bit. Next, we're going to talk about the current state of purchasing physical cards and what's going on in our minds with that. And then I want to show you some new merch on the Pokemon Center site that they've emailed us about this week. And that'll be the show for today. So we'll get right into it. And that first topic we're going to cover is the new black and white set. So the official names for that set, let me pull it up here on my computer. We've got Black Bolt and White Flare coming to both Japan and the States. And on Poke Beach this week, just yesterday, we found out about all of the secret rares. So I'm going to share my screen, and that way we can just take a look at some of those secret rares that we're going to be able to get our hands on. And I was hoping, Ivan, that as we look through them, I just wanted to get your feel on some of them and if there's any in particular that stick out to you. The biggest thing to me that stands out is just how many there are. It's
Yeah.
crazy how many secret rares are in the set. And I'll just scroll through it. It just feels nonstop. It's wild.
Yeah, I am pretty excited for this set. I think just because a lot of the Pokemon that are in here are also in pocket. So I've had a kind of a chance to see some that were in pocket that are going to be actually actually going to have physical cards to play with. Um, I haven't really looked at sorry, I haven't really looked at the special rares. I've been just looking at just the normal cards.
Yeah.
But I feel like they've gone above and beyond yet again as I'm just looking at your screen. Um, the art has always captivated us, and we just it's yeah, like this is so awesome. Like
I I pulled this one up because I love it. I love the
yeah,
unique artwork. I love the style.
yep. And I think it's just again reflecting the amount of the art and the artistry and also the talent that's behind these cards. And I think that's what makes them so valuable and how everybody just wants them because they want that art and just how cool it is to actually have the card.
This one really stood out to me. I love the simplicity
Yeah,
of the design, but also just like the wonder of
yeah,
what's going on here with the bottle on the beach.
yeah. He's looking at himself in
Yeah.
the reflection. That's cool.
Now, something we need to talk about with Black Bolt and White Flare is the fact that I think this is a first in Pokemon TCG history, and that the cards that are in Black Bolt are different than the cards in White Flare. They're actually two separate sets in a sense that make up a set. So I've seen this in other TCGs. Right now, up until now, with the Pokemon TCG, let's talk about Destined Rivals. So if you go to a retail store and you buy a Destined Rivals uh, booster pack in one of the cardboard sleeves, There's four different unique designs for the artwork on the booster packs and on those cardboard sleeves, but there's no difference between what cards could be inside of those four different artworks of packs. That's um the any card from the entire set could be in any of those four packs. But that's different with Black Bolt and White Flare. In that if you open up a Black Bolt pack, you're going to get Black Bolt cards that are specific to Black Bolt. And if you open up a White Flare pack, you're going to get specific cards for the White Flare set that aren't in the Black Bolt packs. So, quite a unique launch for this new set that we haven't seen before. And I want to get your feelings on that, Ivan. What do you think about that difference with the set release?
So, okay, I know we're gonna be talking about Pocket a little later, but I can see where they've implemented Pocket in this set, and it is quite a bit. It's quite it can get frustrating because you want to get all cards from one set and then you want to get it all from another. But of course, granted that was free. Now we're gonna be paying. What set do we want? What kind of cards do we want to complete? Do we want to complete all of Black Bolt? Do we want to complete all of white? What was white? No, what's white?
White Flare.
White Flare. Like, so we're definitely going to be needing. I mean, how much are we willing to spend, and how much? What cards are we going to be trade? What are our chase cards that we're going to be wanting? So,
Yeah.
I think it's going to be. I like the concept, but of course, that was with TCG Pocket. So, so now it's going to be a little different. I mean, I like the idea, but yeah, now you're going to be. It's going to be quite expensive. I think going in and trying to find ones that you want, because sometimes you may go into a store thinking that you're going to get, oh, I want to get one black like booster pack and another black and white, like together. But you might even just get all black. You might just go in one day, go for all white. Like it's going to be a huge going back and forth. So I'm not really okay with that. But I'm really excited for the set for some reason. I just don't know why. I have a feeling like I think it's just because of who the Pokemon that are on it. Um, that makes me Reshiram and Zikorum. Like I'm really into those Pokemon. Although I never played with them, but it's just something that I think I'm just so intrigued with, and I think it captivates me. But it is definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge, I think, by going trying to get complete both sets.
Yeah, and you know, we're going to be talking about this later in the show about just collecting physical cards, opening packs, and the cost involved. And this does add more complexity to collecting. Um, we've talked about this on a lot of episodes in the past. There's a lot of different ways to collect. We've seen uh, people that love to complete sets and have every single card in a set. There are people that just have a specific Pokemon that they collect or a specific artist that they collect. And I think Black Bolt, White Flare is definitely going to be better suited for the collectors that aren't completionists, but rather collect for specific illustrators or for specific Pokemon because it's just such a large set, factoring in the fact that it's really two sets in one, two sets being released simultaneously. And because of the sheer amount of cards to be a completionist is really going to be expensive. Because even if the pull rates are great, like let's say the pull rates are like Crown Zenith, um, the current state of buying packs right now is such a challenge. Like when Crown Zenith was out, and if you wanted to complete Crown Zenith, first of all, the pull rates were great. Second of all, that was an era of time where you could typically find packs on store shelves all the time, and you could even find them for usually less than MSRP, because you could take advantage of deals at different retailers and that sort of thing. There was even Black Friday deals with Crown Zenith sets and boxes. So getting Crown Zenith was cheap and easy. They were readily available, easily accessible, great pull rates. With the current state of affairs, with the past several sets, pull rates have been poor. Obviously, we don't know what that is going to look like with pull rates for the set because it's not out yet. Um, but like if the current economy of buying packs stays where it's at, then it's likely that you're not going to be able to buy packs for MSRP. You're probably looking at buying them on the secondhand market or spending a lot more time waiting in lines, which has a value on it as well. So like this set, especially for where I'm at in life, like if there's a specific artist or Pokemon that I'm just like, whoa, I need that card, then I'll go and search for the single and buy the single. That's kind of my feelings on this.
So, Oren, I was looking, and if you look, there's going to be a product that's going to be released. Okay, let me see if I'm understanding right. It's on Poke Beach.
Okay.
If you go down, and it's called Associated Products and Promos. It says a three pocket card file will also release on June 6th. So today, as previously announced, it will come with three packs of each set and a Victini illustration rare. It will cost 2,640 yen. I don't know what that is in American dollars, but if
What
anything, I think that might be the best route. Do you
what
see that on?
page what page are you looking at?
So it's on the Poke Beach.
What article?
The article is all 172 Japanese Black Bolt and White Flare. It's all the way at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's all 172 Black Bolt and White Flare main
I see
set
it.
cards revealed
Yeah. Okay.
on May 29th. Okay, so scroll all the way down,
Okay.
and there's a section that's called associated products and promos.
Okay. And then I'll share
And
that.
that's actually a really good deal. And I'm thinking that's going to be probably around 30, maybe $30.
Well, the thing is, this is Japanese market though.
I know. So I don't know if
Um,
that's even going to be something that would come to America, but I think if this does come to America, I feel like this is the best bet. You get three packs of each, and I mean you'll be getting this Victini
yeah,
promo every time, but at least you get six packs, three of each for the price. I think I don't know. Let me see what it if it
2640
comes. I mean, if
yen.
it is it worth? Let me see. What's 2,000 yen in American dollars?
I'm pulling it up here.
It's
$18 and 22 cents.
wow, that's a steal.
So that there's no way that product is gonna come to the States, especially at that price.
That's a
Um,
steal, or oh wow,
yeah,
if that
there's
were to
no
come,
way that's not
dude,
gonna happen.
dude,
Um,
that'll be flying off the charts, off the shelves.
yeah.
If that does come, that's gonna be insane.
So the Japanese market is just different in general. So when it comes to like booster
Make sure
boxes,
orange real
like
quick, blow your screen up.
oh, it's not it
No,
doesn't show.
it's only half your screen.
Oh, weird.
There you
Uh, one moment. Oh, there we go. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah,
Okay. So when it comes to the Japanese market, like there are definite pull rates. Like if you buy a booster box, you're guaranteed a specific amount of secret rares and illustration rares and etc.
wow,
So like the market for rare cards is just a lot different because they're easier to obtain because you have guaranteed pulls in booster boxes. And so it's just like also the types of products that release there are different than the types of like sets or not sets, but the types of like EX battle boxes and various products that we get. Like I don't know if does Japan even get ETBs? I love how
that's a good question. But it says
yeah.
right there,
Hold on one second. Japanese
UTBs.
Pokemon ETB.
I would assume.
The vast majority of Japanese sets don't have ETBs, just booster
You know,
boxes.
really?
The only recent sets that have something similar with premium boxes are, to my knowledge, Starbreath, Shiny Star V, and Single Rapid Strike Master. So yeah, I like there's the products are just different. Like the stuff that sells well and that catches the typical consumer's eye in Japan is just much different than the States. Just
Hmm.
culturally. So that just changes the whole economy of it all. Um, but I mean, if that product were to release for $20 in the States, yeah, there's no way you're gonna find that on store shelves unless you happen to just get there right when the shelf is being stocked. And that's just a whole another, we're gonna discuss that too um later in the show. But
That's gonna be, yeah. It'd probably be, yeah. No, you're right. Because it's like almost like the blisters. They get you get two or three
yeah,
packs.
yeah, the 3 pack, yeah, or the two
So
pack, or the single pack, they have all of them, all of the above.
yeah. So if they have that, which I'm pretty sure they will, because they have it for mostly every set that comes out, I think that might be my best route to go for if I am gonna try and collect this one. This is gonna be
Yeah.
expensive, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, I almost think we should have had the other conversation first because I want to talk about the buying aspect. But um for this set especially, just for the sheer number of cards, I'm just going to be picking out individuals and going for those singles on either eBay or TCG Player.
Yeah. And what's cool is that even like now, like I'm not really into any of the new cards like Journey Together and Destiny Rivals, but there
Yeah,
are some that are they can actually work well with one of my decks that I have. So I would incorporate some of the Pokemon in there, and then just to keep up with the meta, not completely a new deck, but like still having a deck that's somewhat being able to compete
yeah,
with the new meta that's coming out. So I think that's, yeah, like you said, and TCG Player is probably the best bet just to get your cards that you want rather than pulling cards that you're not going to use,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
or buying singles.
Yep.
But I'm excited for this set. Hopefully, I don't know, is this one going to be a release? I mean, they did one for Destiny Rivals.
Oh, you mean like a pre-release? No,
Yeah, pre-release. No.
this is gonna be a special set,
Okay.
similar to Prismatic.
How do
So
you know that, Orin?
how do I know that?
Yeah.
I read it somewhere. I don't really.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
I
Maybe
don't
you want to
know.
explain that,
I don't
because
remember
how do
where my
we?
source was,
Okay. Because
but
you gotta. Because sometimes I would like to think like, okay, why was it for Surging Sparks? Why was it for Journeying Together? But it wasn't for um there was something recent that it didn't come out for, which I thought we were going to go to, but it didn't. Journey Together.
Destin Rivals had one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
which I was shocked actually. That's why when I reached out to you, it was like happening that weekend. We missed the
that
pre-release
sec.
for that, but
I feel like Destin Rivals came so fast after
it
Journey
came so
Together.
fast.
Like I didn't even have a moment to breathe, and Destin Rivals was out. Like,
Yep.
but let me see if I can get an answer to your question. Normal sets versus special sets when it comes to like the timing, and it has to do with seasons. Like it's a seasonal thing in the States. Um, and like so you have your normal sets, and normal sets have pre-releases, and normal sets have booster boxes, and normal sets have packs that come in cardboard sleeves. Special sets don't have any of those things. Special sets don't have a pre-release. Special sets don't have booster boxes, and special sets you cannot buy single booster packs.
Mm,
Um, Special sets have ETBs, and then they have various like specialty products, like the poster collections and the binder collections, and that sort of thing, and booster bundles. So like 151 was a special set. So like you can't buy 151 packs individually unless it's on the secondhand market. You could only buy the poster collection or the binder collection or the booster bundle or the ETB. Um, Now, when it comes to like timing, I'd need to find like a release schedule. It is pretty much the same every year. Like there's a special set, usually earlier in the year, and then there's a special set usually later in the year. What is the release date for Black Bolt White Flare in the States? Did we see that, Ivan?
I didn't. Let me
Okay, I'm gonna
see.
look it up.
I think it's July.
There typically isn't a mid-year special set though.
Let me see. I'm looking.
Yeah, I'm not immediately finding like a release date for the stateside release of Black Bolt White
Yeah,
Flare.
let me see news.
So Japan is hosting a tournament where players can only use cards from Black Bolt and White Flare from June 14th to August 31st. That's
Really?
interesting. Yeah. I kind of like that concept. That's really neat.
Yeah. I'll get into that a little bit.
Okay, here's a potential release um date for looks like Japan. It looks like it may be releasing sometime between July 18th and August 22nd.
Okay.
Um, or is that in the States?
Let me see.
Man, this is such a weird set. No, it looks like it's gonna be in July for the States.
July 18th. According to Pokemon Press, July 18th, 2025.
Okay. I'm on Best Buy site right now. So like there's a Scarlet and Violet Black Bolt booster bundle, and the
Mhm.
release date on Best Buy site for the booster bundle is August 22nd. So at least the
Okay.
booster bundles aren't going to be until August 22nd. I'm not sure about other product though, because it looks
Okay.
like they're going to be
So
staggering the release of various items.
I'm a. Okay. So I'm on the Pokemon Company International official press site, Orin,
Okay.
and they gave you a breakdown of what's coming out.
Oh, cool.
So it all starts July 18th, 2025.
Okay.
The ETB comes out. Also, the binder collection, poster collection, and mini tin. And then in August 1st is the White Flare text sticker collection. The one that I just mentioned, the Unova Victini illustration collection, includes two Scarlet Violet Black Bolt booster packs, two Scarlet Violet White Flare booster packs, one illustration wear style promo card featuring Victini, one premium parallel Pokeball card featuring Victini, and one oversized illustration rare style foil promo card featuring Victini. So that thing, the three pack, I guess what I saw, it's not going to be three, but it's going to be two of each.
Okay.
Yeah, two black, two white,
Okay.
and then there is a booster bundle. Black Bolt and Scarlet Violet booster packs includes six.
Is
So
this the
awesome.
page you're looking at here, Ivan? Is this the page?
That's it.
Okay.
You can
So
see them on the right hand side there too, of what they're going to look like.
so we've got the White Flare ETB, we've got the Black Bolt ETB,
Mhm.
and then we have the White Flare binder collection, Unova poster collection.
Mhm.
It looks like there's also a Black Bolt binder collection. Um, okay.
It's it's almost like the best bet would be to get two binder collections.
If you want the binders, yeah,
But like the most what I'm thinking is like the most like equal not value, but the equal of like amount of packs you can get in
yeah,
one buy is what I'm trying to get at.
okay,
So instead of buying like three black and two white, like you can get six black, six white. with two binary collections, or you can go all out on the on the what is it? The Victini. The Victini because you get two and two.
The illustration collection.
The illustration collection. That's it. Yep.
Yeah.
Player tech, yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know. It's I guess we'll have to see what the price is because I know that the price for the binder collection for Eevee for Prismatic was like 18, I think it was, or 19, something like that. I can't
Okay.
remember. But it wasn't that bad.
It's just
But
a matter of if you can find if you can find it, you
see,
know.
that's the thing. Yeah. Is this gonna be a set that people are gonna go nuts over?
Oh, it will be.
Interesting.
It definitely will be. Like this is going to be far more popular than Destined Rivals Journey Together. Um,
Wow.
oh, for sure. Like because first of all, a lot of people okay, when Pokemon does anything with nostalgia hype, it just ups the ante for like collectors. And uh so actually here's a question for you. Did you ever play Black and White or Black and White 2 on DS?
No.
Okay, I didn't either. That was kind of like a generation younger than us that, played the Pokemon RPGs on DS. Probably,
Okay.
the group of people maybe 10 years younger than us, 5 years younger than us, that their first handheld was the DS, not the Game Boy Advance. And Black and White would have been their Pokemon that ushered them into this hobby. Um,
Got it.
so yeah, like it kind of just went under the radar for us because we were probably playing Xbox 360 stuff. I'm trying to think of the era, probably Xbox. That was probably just taking up all of our gaming time, and we weren't really into Pokemon at that point. But like anyone who was into Black and White, and the fact that Black and White even had a direct sequel, Black and White 2, tells you how popular Black and White was. Um, so yeah, I just have a feeling finding these cards is going to be, or at least unopened packs. I mean, singles are always easy to find online on TCG Player and eBay, but getting
Yeah.
packs, getting sealed product is going to be really challenging for this set.
Got it. Okay, so this came out in America. It says here first release was in Japan of September 18th, 2010. Then later released in Europe, North America, and Australia in 2011.
Yeah. So
And
I
then
would
there
have
was,
been 21, 22.
yeah, I would have been 24.
So yeah, we would have been playing Xbox 360.
Yeah, we weren't,
Yeah.
I wasn't. But also, too, there was Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2 that were released for the DS in 2012.
Okay.
So wait, there's Black and White 1 and then
Hmm.
Black and White 2.
Correct.
Interesting.
Yeah. They actually got a sequel, which
Huh.
I think that's the only series of Pokemon games that got a direct sequel.
Interesting. I'm actually interested to play this.
Yeah, I know. It's got me interested too. But the problem is, if just to go down that rabbit hole of emulation, um, there's there's still no great way of emulating Nintendo DS slash 3DS, just because of the dual screen aspect. Like, I mean, yeah, you can do
Mm,
it. You can definitely do it. It's definitely doable on a computer, on your phone, whatever. But like the experience to simulate a DS or a 3DS experience like one to one, it's not really a thing yet. We're still waiting for manufacturers to really make something that gives us the look and feel of a DS and a handheld. I've shown off some, or I showed off my one retro handheld in a different episode, but yeah, we're still waiting for somebody in the manufacturing scene of that retro handheld world to make something like a DS.
yeah. Interesting. I think that, yeah, to go down that rabbit hole again, to go into a handheld, that's like, oh boy, there's already so much stuff that we're already doing.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and
And it's
ZA
like,
coming out.
oh,
Yeah, I
speaking of,
yeah, I can't I can't touch black and white. There's too much to do. Forget that idea.
yeah, corn.
Yeah, I mean that's all I got for black and white. Or black bolt and white flare.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah,
I
me
think that's
too.
gonna be great.
Yeah, I just love the art. That's all it comes down to. Um,
Yeah,
Ivan, tell us about Pokemon Pocket, Pokemon
yeah.
TCG Pocket.
So, new if you guys have been following up with the Pokemon Pocket, another set was released. Ex extra dimensional. Oh my goodness, Owen. I should have
I
been.
don't remember it either.
I should be totally prepared.
No,
But it's
I kind of love I kind so I've been thinking about this episode as we're recording it, and I'm like, I feel like we're so ill prepared today, but at the same time, I'm like, well, hopefully the people that watch our show like the candid nature because it's really like we're just hanging out talking about Pokemon. That's kind of what we wanted this show to be and to begin with. Like we are definitely not know-it-alls in this hobby. We're gonna mispronounce Pokemon names. We're gonna mispronounce the names of product that comes out. Like it's just, I mean, we're just here to have fun.
yeah, right. I love that, Owen. Thanks for that disclaimer. So, extra dimensional crisis is the set that has come out. It's another one pack set. There's about roughly, let's see here. I think there's a roughly about 69 cards, and but in grand total with all like the, actually that's all of them. It's like 60, 70, it's about 70, 75, I think it is, or a little more than that. I think it's a little more than that. But counting all the special illustration rares and shinies that are also in this. I find that there's a lot of shinies in this particular set. Um, so I think it's pretty cool to see. This set is featuring actually my one of my favorite Pokemon is Buswell, and he's he's an absolute beast in Pokemon Unite. Once you really know how to use them. So I'm glad that they kind of featured him on this set. Um, and if you notice, like there's a lot of good illustrations and there's a lot of what they call beasts. And so the beasts in this set are pretty, I feel like they're pretty powerful. And two, you're getting Pokemon from way back. So like Zeraora's in here. Um, you got Exarchitri, which I never even heard of. You got Pokemon that are probably from way back, but they're actually making their way. And that's what I love about Pocket is that it's bringing the old meta from way back to the previous and bringing them into like the new meta and that we can play with them. So I think it's been a great asset to have these Pokemon now with all the Pokemon trainers and all like the rare candies that have come out and all the tools that you can use to better your Pokemon in battle. So I originally was only playing Pocket just to collect, but I just recently have been getting into battling more. So I
Hmm.
think it's definitely drawn me in. And I've joined a Discord where our friends have from around our area, Cleveland area, and also like around other states have competed in a tournament. Pretty much nothing. It was all you know. All it was nothing. Nothing special. We didn't get anything, but I think just the fact that we were actually be able to participate in a tournament with Pocket was really cool. And so what was used was the website Limitless. And so Limitless, you can actually pull up a if you have like some kind of tournament, you can I think the our gym leader, you want to say, Trevor, was able to put up um an event, and then it would then give us like a link, and like he created a passcode. We're able to then log into that game room. Kind of, it's almost, I felt like what it was, Orin, was when we used to system link with Halo,
Yeah, yeah.
and like how you just enter a game room and then you can like whoever's looking for whoever wants to battle, you can then select and you can enter that room, and then they give you a game code, and you have to enter that code with Pocket. So you go into your the challenge icon of the battle, and then you go into versus, and then you go into private match, and then that code then connects you and the player that you're up against. So it was really cool. Limitless does a huge like whole like what do you call it? Like a chart, and then you
Oh,
see who you're up
like a
against,
ladder? A ladder?
like a ladder,
Okay.
or like it gets you who it pairs you up who you're against. And oh, Swiss. It's called Swiss.
Yeah.
So which we'll be participating in August with our friend Xavier. So it was cool. You know, you get your bye week, you get a win. That was my only win. Well, no, I take that back. Kayla and I, my wife, we battled each other, and you know, I won. I didn't want to win, but I won. Made Kayla feel a little more in the in connection with all like the Pokemon
Yeah.
pocket. So, but it was nice. It was. I think you get that same adrenaline about playing with other people, and it. But the thing was that you can only, going back to your point that you had made about in Japan, where they're going to have a tournament where you can only use black and white. So in this particular tournament that Trevor put together on Limitless, like we
Yeah.
can only use the cards that came out. You can use different cards, but the basic ones that you're using was from Extra Dimensional Crisis,
Okay. Yeah,
and
I
you can
like that
only,
concept because
yeah,
then you're forced to get creative with a limited amount of cards versus
correct,
having the entire library at
meta.
your disposal. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It made it very challenging, and I think that's what, like for me, I pulled 10, I did a 10 pack, so I was able to get the boss Swole, but there's one particular Pokemon in this meta who's called Guzzlord EX, and he's
Hmm.
just an absolute beast. And
Okay.
he's got 170 HP. He does 30 damage with two colorless energy. But if you put one, two, three, four, he does 120 right off the bat. And it takes time, but with certain Pokemon that you can add energy to your Pokemon easier. So that's another. He was like the number one Pokemon used for those that pulled him, where
Okay.
they were able to use him. So, but overall, it was a great. Just being like a general, like just hey, he picked the date, everybody voted on the date, and we're available, and like it was just like okay, let's be on. It was really cool just to be like, all right, I'm in it, even though we're not winning anything,
Yeah.
just to play. It was really fun. So
That sounds really cool. So
yeah,
just so I can get a better visual, so that I can better understand how this took place. So it was a certain date and a certain time.
correct.
Okay. And then were you on like a Zoom meeting or was it all via just messaging on Discord?
All via messages on Discord, and he had the link posted in the Discord chat that we're in
Okay.
for the link to get into Limitless. So then you just press
Okay.
that link. You have to register. You have to register and make an account, and then you go into that specific game room, and they have a specific code that's only meant for that room.
This game room, is it a Discord thing or is it a TCG Pocket thing?
The
Like
game
where
room is in Limitless
Okay, the
TCG.
game room's in Limitless. Okay.
Yeah. So he
And is
created it in Limitless, then
is
sent that link from Limitless to Discord.
So what is the game room in Limitless like? Is that where you interact or is it just what sets up the matches?
It just what sets up the matches. So
Okay.
like I'm looking at it right now in limitlesstcg.com. It's playlimitlesstcg.com. And it shows like right now there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 game rooms. And there's about roughly between 100, or there's one that's like 373 players. There's one that's Pocket Legends League 30 season 3, and that's 154 players. I don't know how. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I
But
see that on here. And it says 50 US dollars. So it looks like you can
oh, you pay
pay
in.
to
I see it.
compete and actually win prizes.
Wow. That's insane. Thanks, Warren. I saw the 50 USD, but
Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together.
Yeah, so it looks like people are hosting actual
Tournament.
tournaments where you can win money
Yep.
through Limitless TCG. This is intriguing.
The Froggy X Weekly Cup is number 22. That one was also $50.
Okay.
So yeah, it was
Yeah,
like this.
this
You
is
just
cool. This is cool.
yeah, it was like this. You just click on it, and as you scroll down, it says that stuff that you can register in, and then yeah, we just basically just his game is almost like he had a system link like hub for us to then click join, and then whoever's joined will then was ranked together
Okay.
and put together and to battle each other with a code.
So just for our viewers, here's the Limitless TCG page of the upcoming tournaments.
Yeah.
Um, and so it sounds like you and I could even put one together. Like it's but
Hmm.
it looks like people put together tournaments. You can register. Like this one, uh, so they have these detail pages. This one's taking
Hmm.
place today at 4 o'clock
Yeah.
Eastern. Um, and it's a Swiss stage plus single elimination. Prize pool.
Wow.
First place is
$100.
$100. So that's kind of cool. But what's the entry fee?
50.
No, there's no way.
Mm,
$150
$150.
prize pool.
Mhm. $15. Oh no. Sorry, Warren. I'm gonna stop blurting stuff out.
I don't see an entry fee, but there has to be, right? Because where would the money come from?
I
I
wonder
don't
if
know.
this is
Unless it's just sponsored. Maybe there is no entry fee.
what do you think, Warren?
I don't know. It's very intriguing.
Today at 10? Is it today?
No, no, 4 p.m. I'm not gonna be able to do it. But just knowing that this
Oh, I
exists
see.
is really intriguing. Like this is making me think I would be much more inclined to play now that I know this exists.
Yeah,
This is neat.
me too. Like at first I wasn't even interested because I was always in the TCG live.
Yeah.
And once I started playing, like started battling and just doing those little like missions and like all the events in TCG Pocket where
Yeah.
you go in, you gotta like get the beginner to master. And it was like, okay, I think I'm liking the way this is battling. Although I never really battled people until like maybe actually the beginning of this month, I started battling people. I'm on a win streak, so but it is also good to check out how my decks are against the meta that's going up against people, and what things I could change and what I think is good is
Yeah.
not that good. It's not even yeah, it dominates the computer or like to get your events to complete the event, but going up against somebody, it's like wow, it's a completely
Yeah.
different story. But I think also a lot of times when I'm battling on TCG Pocket, I feel like a lot of it is just I don't know if like the algorithm or like because sometimes my cards don't like it would my cards that I want show up when I'm playing against the computer, but when I'm up against somebody, they barely even come up. And I'm like, okay, well, I need this card because I'm gonna get defeated.
Yeah.
And coin flips are like hardly ever on your favor. I lost because the new Pokemon that's in this one is he's like a red panda,
Yeah.
and if you flip two heads, you knock out your opponent. He flipped two heads. It was tied 2-2. He put in his red panda, and I'm like, I knew I should have done away with him before. He flips two coins, he got heads, I lose. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, it was like the most heartbreaking thing. But it was
Man.
great because it's like those experiences are like they're heartbreaking, but at the same
Yeah.
time you're like, oh, if I would have won that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But
No,
I feel like
this is really neat.
yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I think now that you showed more, I mean, I've only seen it on my right here on what I see on the, but I know I
Yeah,
looking more
you and
into it.
I should do one.
We should. I think
We'll
that'd
have
be
to
good.
pick one and then set it up.
Yeah, yeah. But it's definitely bringing Pocket in a different light than I thought it would be. And they pulled me in, and I think it's great.
So, okay, serious question. Now that we have this understanding of the fact that this community exists for ongoing tournaments that are literally every single day, like there's a tournament every single day on on Limitless here. This is wild.
It's crazy.
Um, for you, where does TCG Live and the main TCG fall? Like, um, will this take over your interest and time put into TCG Live and the main TCG?
You know, yeah, as I think about it, like it may because I mean, I have a deck, a physical card deck, and I think it's very well. But like with the new cards that are coming out, you have to now I have to like I mentioned before, you might have to like do some shifting around with your deck to be able to keep up with the meta. While this is constantly being updated and you can just get your deck here easily and just be like, oh, I'm gonna win. Like if we were to get in some cash prizes, you can be easily just like, yeah, I'm in it.
Yeah,
Of course, you're gonna be playing against well
yeah,
advanced people, I think.
yeah, yeah.
But I am gonna make this distinction. I think the fact that a computer and like the algorithm of the set of your deck doesn't compare with real life and the chances of real life. I feel like does that make sense? I feel like
It
you have a
does.
better
Yeah,
chance of winning in a physical battle
yeah,
than you would with an algorithm like battle.
yeah. No, I understand what you're saying. And that's really a fault of the developers of the software. Because everyone who's played TCG Pocket knows that there's a problem with the way coin flips are handled. Like we all just can see it. There is a definite issue with how they've programmed coin flips in TCG Pocket, which means that there's probably an issue with how they've programmed anything that's chance based in the app. And there's a disconnect between the chance in the app for TCG Pocket and the chance and actual playing physical cards on a table in front of you.
Yeah.
And that's something that they really need to fix. We shouldn't be able to feel that it's not the feel should be the same as the feel of a real brick and mortar game, like a game on a physical table, a
Yeah.
physical element. So that is an issue. And I really think they could solve it. I mean, we don't have those feelings about TCG Live. TCG Live just felt right in terms of the chance aspects of it. Um, like TCG Live felt much more like playing an actual game on a table in front of me, compared to TCG Pocket. So
Yeah.
maybe, hopefully, they'll just improve the chance-based elements of TCG Pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But also when it comes to like availability, like that now that you said that there's one like every day, I mean, yeah, I could just be like, okay, well, I'm blocking out this time tomorrow to play on, pocket tournament.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah, this
And
is
rather
awesome.
than waiting for like a Saturday or waiting for like the next pre-release to be coming up, like I could just go on here and fool around with this one. So
Yeah,
I think that's the benefit. I think that's another benefit of doing that. So it may, I mean, I'll be open to do anything, but
yeah,
I think this does kind of trump um playing anything like I think it may take over. I'm excited though.
yeah.
I just gotta get better.
I see some pros and cons to both. I really think TCG Pocket is more of a chance-based game compared to the normal TCG. I think the normal TCG, if you have a deck that fits the current meta, if you're skilled with that deck, um, I really feel like your skills with using that deck even if your opponent is having um better stuff going on with their deck with their chance-based elements. I really think that skill, you can still win. You can outmatch your opponent even if they're getting better pulls and better coin flips.
Hmm.
TCG Pocket, just by the nature of it being a shorter game with fewer cards, I think that it gives more opportunity for less skilled people to win tournaments for better or for worse. I think that could be good or bad, depending on who you are. I think for people like us that have less time to devote to the meta and less time to devote to really developing those skills, I think TCG Pocket makes more sense. But
Yeah.
if you have the time and stamina and desire to really get good at a TCG, then the main TCG is going to reward you more for your efforts to get more skills. I
Yeah.
hope that made sense.
Oh no, it totally does. Because
Okay.
that's where I'm at. And we know our good friend Xavier, who's been on our show, like
Yeah.
he's like top. He's like top. And I'm
Yeah,
like, man,
he loves the grind. He loves
yeah,
grinding to get better at the TCG.
yeah,
And that takes devotion and it takes um yeah, it takes a passion for it.
yeah,
And like as much as I love the TCG and I love the skill-based elements of the game, it's just not realistic for me to commit to getting good enough to actually compete. But with
yeah,
TCG Pocket, like I really think that even a beginner could potentially win a tournament.
yeah. I agree. Yeah, I'm feeling. I'm for me, it's always been the play because we've always played it ever since we were started collecting Pokemon. We always played it. It was
Yeah.
never just to collect.
Yeah.
Like it was always playing, and I'm still at that. Like I still have that desire to like. I just want to play and just
Oh
win.
yeah. Yeah, I love card games. I love
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Right. Awesome.
Okay. Should we move on to our next topic here?
Yeah.
What did I do with my outline? Hold on a moment.
Switch.
There
While
it is.
Orange, while Orange getting that up, we're gonna be talking about Switch.
Yeah, okay, Switch 2. So Switch 2 came out yesterday. I neither of us bought one. And so let me give my reasons first of all, and then I'll let you give your reasons. Um, Number one reason, there aren't games on Switch 2 that aren't on Switch 1 that I want yet. So until the Switch 2 has an exclusive game that's a must-have for me, I'm not going to buy it. And fortunately for us, Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be simultaneously released on Switch 1 and 2. So that really was the nail in the coffin of the decision to not buy it right now, is that I don't need a Switch 2 to play Legends ZA. So it would have been pointless for me to spend $500 to just play my Switch 1 library. That's kind of why I did not get one. What about you, Ivan?
Yeah, I think it was mainly just the fact of like what the Switch 2 was going to be able to do. For me, it's not like it's nothing that I take portably. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't portably take it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't play it portably.
You played at home.
I play it at home. Like
Yeah.
it stays in the dock. It never comes out of the dock.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, even though it's a beast machine, because our one friend Jordan, who's been on our show, he showcased it as like comparison to Switch One and Switch Two, is definitely it's definitely a bigger screen. It's definitely beefier. But like for me, it's just like I just don't I just don't see a need to buy the Switch 2 because of just for me just to have it and just being a dock. It's like it's doing the same thing as a Switch 1. And I'm the opposite one. The games that did come out, I am interested in playing. Like I do like the Mario Kart and the I think the other one was Switch. No, no, no. Fiction. What was it called?
Oh yeah, and that game is also on other platforms. Split Fiction. You should be able to
Split
play that on
Fiction.
PS5, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you
So
should just get it for that.
yeah. So, Zelda's coming out. Um, the Donkey Kong game looks pretty sweet. But I mean, those are just like they're gonna be coming out, later. Um, but mainly it's for the I would get it if I would have gotten it, it would be for like the Mario Kart edition, like Mario Kart 8, like
Yeah,
how
yeah,
that one came out. So it'd be like the same thing with Mario Kart what do you call it? World.
yeah. World.
So for me, I still it's just I don't feel the need that I need to get Switch 2 yet
Yeah,
because it's going to be doing the exact same thing that Switch 1 is doing right now. Whether the graphics are going to be way better, like that's probably the only I can see being the different. But right now, the Switch 1 on my TV, it's doing its justice. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I don't know how
yeah,
else to um it's going to be a while till I get Switch 2 and I don't know. It's going to be a little bit because it was a while for me to get Switch 1.
yeah.
So once I finally got into it, I'm like, okay, wow, yeah, I like it, and I like what I play with it. It's pretty sweet.
Hmm.
But will the Switch 1 become my new light? I can get rid of the light and play with the Switch, and then get the Switch 2, and that could stay in the dock. Maybe
Yeah.
thinking about that, that could be my option. But
Okay.
as of right now, I don't see myself getting it anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of regret not getting the Scarlet Violet edition of the Switch OLED version.
Hmm.
So maybe this will be a good opportunity for me to do that because people are going to be selling them for, less than retail. Because people are now that Switch 2 is out, people are going to be selling their old Switch stuff. So I might do that. I'm
Good
not
idea.
decided, but I really do like the Scarlet Violet edition. And Scarlet Violet is what drew me back to Pokemon in general. So I might do that. But while we're on the topic of Switch 2, and the main reason that we're even talking about it, so I believe it was yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, Ivan? The
Wasn't
pre-order for Legends ZA went live on the
yesterday.
Pokemon Center website yesterday. And I just wanted to inform our listeners of something really intriguing. So when it comes to the Switch 2, the general rule of thumb and the understanding that we all had going into this was that Switch 2 games would not work on the Switch 1. And while that is a good rule of thumb, it's not true across the board, which is very odd and intriguing. And I want to show you how you can tell the difference. So initially, Ivan and I pre-ordered the Switch 1 version of Legends ZA. And first of all, I wanted to tell our listeners um, the various options of where you could pre-order it and what pre-order bonuses were going to be available. But unfortunately, I can't really give an answer to that question. So we know that if you pre-order it from the Pokemon Center website, that the pre-order bonus is a plush toy. You don't get to pick which one. It's going to be a random of Chikorita, Tepig, or Totodile. But you will get a plush toy randomly selected with your game when it comes out. Typically, other retailers like Target and Best Buy do pre-order bonuses, but they aren't advertising
Mhm.
anything. So right now, the only place that advertises a pre-order bonus is the Pokemon Center website. So definitely get it from there for now until we see what the other retailers are doing. But so originally, Ivan and I pre-ordered Legends ZA for the Switch 1 on the Pokemon Center website. But then I was doing some YouTube watching and Reddit reading last night, and I found out that some Switch 2 games do actually work on a Switch 1. And I want to show you how you can determine that. So I'm going to come back to this picture, but let's go to the Nintendo.com site. And here's a listing of all the Nintendo Switch 2 games that currently are out. And I've pulled up some detailed pages on them. So here's Mario Kart World. And you'll see Mario Kart World, it's a very bare bones um, cover on the game. And the same with Donkey Kong Bonanza. So
Mhm.
Mario Kart World and Donkey Kong Bonanza only work on Switch 2. These will not work on your original Switch 1 device. However, if we take a look at Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. If we look at Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo Switch 2 edition. And if we look at Kirby and the Forgotten Land, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, you see that there's a lot of words down here that don't exist on these other two games. And it says at the bottom, includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack. Upgrade pack also available separately. So these cartridges that have this verbiage at the bottom, these games will work in your Nintendo Switch 1. So anything that has an upgrade pack available for a Switch 1 game, that physical cartridge will work in your Switch 1. So for example, let's go back to Legends ZA. And if we look at the box, the cover art, it says the same information. Includes the Nintendo Switch game and the Nintendo Switch 2 edition upgrade pack. So this copy, the Nintendo Switch 2 copy of Legends ZA, will work in your Nintendo Switch 1 devices. So we actually canceled our pre-orders of the Switch 1 edition, and we instead pre-ordered the Switch 2 edition, knowing that it's very likely in the future that we'll buy a Switch 2,
Yeah.
and then we don't have to buy the game twice or buy the upgrade pack in the future. So just a little public service announcement there. Just be aware of that. Like if you're a Switch 1 owner and you're potentially going to get a Switch 2 in the future, just start buying the Switch 2 versions of these games that have that specific verbiage on the cover. So that way it'll work on both your consoles. I was kind of blown away finding that out last night.
No, I'm so glad you brought that out. And yeah, you do have to read the fine lines and the fine print. It is. I may add to Oren's statements that it is a little bit. It's like I think it's about like $5 to $6 more. So I think the grand total was like 74. I think for um if you want to get the Switch 2 version
Yeah,
with the one. So
it's
it's about $6.
10 bucks more, and then shipping and tax, or I think it
Okay.
was the taxes that brought it up because
Oh, there
shipping
you
is
go.
free. So yeah,
Yep.
60 bucks versus 70 bucks, and then taxes.
Yeah.
So
So it
yeah,
came out. Yeah. So about $10 more. So it's not 14 bucks more. So it's like it's not it's totally worth it because you don't want to buy it again. Especially with like the Nintendo, how you can't like transfer. What is it on that you can't really transfer your game into like another Switch, right? Like you can't like my profile in Scarlet Violet, I cannot play it on my light, correct? Like you
no, you
can't
can.
transfer.
You can. Oh wait, okay, Scarlet Violet. No. Yeah, so Scarlet Violet is weird. And the way that saves are handled with Scarlet and Violet, if
Yeah,
you want to play, so are you playing Scarlet?
yeah, Scarlet.
Okay, so if you want to play Scarlet on your Switch Lite, you have to manually transfer your save game from your Switch to your Switch Lite. And then you can play it on your Switch Lite. And then when you want to play it on your regular Switch, you got to manually transfer it again. You can't have your save game on both, and it
Yeah,
doesn't work with cloud saves. It's
yeah,
really frustrating, but that was
yeah.
like supposedly a way for them to like prevent duplication of Pokemon and items.
So that right there is just an example of like how you need to just get it just on. We'll get Switch too because if you're eventually going to get it, the
Yeah.
switching and swapping and all that is probably going to be a little more easier,
Yeah.
little easier.
So now one other thing is there is a purchase limit of one. So one thing you could do is let's say you want two plush toys. You could pre-order the Switch 1 version and the Switch 2 version, and then you would get two plush toys, which is kind of neat. Especially since there is that purchase limit of one. And so like you can pre-order both versions and then you will get two plush toys, but then you would just sell on the secondhand marketplace, probably your Switch 1 version. If you that is if you really want two plush toys. I think I'll be okay with just one plush toy.
Yeah, yeah.
And then who
As well.
knows? Maybe I'll want all. Knowing me, I'll want the complete set, and I'll
Oh,
probably find the two I don't get on eBay or something because I'm a weirdo. But
yeah, I
that's
was gonna say,
brain
Orton, what
works.
happens if you like, yeah, you keep ordering and then you keep getting the same one or whatever because they're random.
Well, no, I'm assuming that when you get your package, when you open the box, the plush toy is probably visible. It's probably a clear plastic bag is usually how they come wrapped.
Okay.
So I'm sure people will be selling their plush toys on eBay
Mm,
once it's out, you know.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'll probably get all three. That's just how I work.
Oh no.
I'm not much of a collector of anything. So like my my I don't spend a lot of money on collecting. Like
Orion, look
um
behind. Orion, look to your side there.
no
Yeah.
no no I know. So like the one thing I have been collecting is these Gundam Universe figures. So I've got one, two, three, I've got seven of them because there's another one up there. But like that's over the course of like 2 years. Is seven figures and they're like $20 each. So that's like $140 over the course of 2 years. I mean, that's a very and then I've got some games, but
Yeah.
like I don't know. My compare okay, I watch a lot of video game collectors on YouTube and there are collect like people's collections are just like mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So comparatively speaking, like I'm this is very tame.
Yeah. No, you're great. Because they you see like just all PlayStation 1, all PlayStation 2, all PlayStation 3, all PlayStation 4. It just keeps going
Yeah,
and going and going. Like
it's wild.
how do they have the money? That's
I
what I
don't
don't
know.
understand.
I do not get that. I don't understand.
It's
I
crazy.
I can't answer that question.
Yeah. Pretty intense.
It is very intense. So yeah, so very cool discovery about Switch 2 games, specifically the Switch 2 games that have Switch 1 counterparts and they have a Switch 2 upgrade pack. So any game that has a Switch 1 counterpart, the Switch 2 version of it that has the upgrade pack, the physical copy of it will work in your Switch 1.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
confusing as that is, I hope that helps.
I'm just happy for it.
I wish that they had made that more clear. Like, I think
Yeah.
Nintendo, I wonder if they intentionally made it confusing for some reason. I was trying to think about this earlier today. Like, what benefit would it be for them to intentionally make this confusing? And so, one thing that I thought about is people that have a Switch 1 now will buy the Switch 1 copy and then eventually they'll get a Switch 2. Now, if you get a Switch 2, the Switch 1 copy will work in your Switch 2, and then you can buy the DLC of the upgrade pack and you can continue using your Switch 1 version. But I think people aren't going to realize that, and they're going to sell their Switch 1 versions of those games and then rebuy the Switch 2 versions. So I think it ultimately benefits Nintendo's bottom line to
Uh,
make it
yeah.
confusing. That's my take on it.
Yeah, and it all comes down to just read. You got to read the fine print.
Yeah.
And once you know, like I'm glad you did.
I mean
Thanks for
that
doing that one.
again, that was just because I saw a YouTube video and somebody was putting a Switch 2 cart in a Switch 1 and it worked. And I'm like, oh, that's really weird. Why is that working? And so I'm
Hmm.
like, I had to do a deeper dive into it. And
Wow.
yeah, so okay, Ivan,
Awesome.
we're gonna get into we've a topic we've discussed before that's
Yeah.
controversial and challenging and hard to navigate. And that's just the state of buying Pokemon cards. Tell me about it.
I think it's become like you wait in line or you don't wait in line. So or if you did wait and you got your prismatic evolutions or you got your destined rivals and then you get home And then you go home and you proceed to open the packs, and then what do you get? You just get normal, basic. You don't get any good pulls. You just get like the base set basically, but nothing past that. And so for me, it's like for the amount of money that you actually spend on getting like a lot of these products now that are available. So for instance, like um we bought 3 or 4 packs of the Destined Rivals. We got 4 blisters, and then I ended up buying like a tin of Zacian. Um, and then I also bought one of the Metagross that came out for, I want to say it was Destiny Rivals too.
That
Was
was a
one.
theme deck, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is cool because I'm actually putting one together. So that
Yeah.
worked out for me. So that was
Yeah.
great. Those were like the only good pulls though from that box set was 2 illustration rares and one illustration rare and then 2 EXs. And then I end up pulling one special illustration rare, but it wasn't even from Destined Rivals. It was just from a tin from Zacian tin.
Hmm.
So it kind of, for the amount of money that I spent, which I spent probably close to like $60, I got like hardly anything that I wanted. So I feel like out of all that I've waited and that all that going to different places, and if you are like us trying to go and get something, and then you finally get the cards and you have like nothing, it's like all that money I could have spent could have been on TCG player and just could have got the pulls that I needed or the pulls that I wanted
Hmm.
for the amount of money that I spent, excuse me, and there. So it's becoming that it's becoming very upsetting that like you spend all that time, you spend all that money, and then you end up receiving nothing out of that. It's just like the pull rates have just become non-existent almost. And it's become very frustrating. I think it's almost I'm ready to call it. But unless like black and white, somehow revives this, but as of right now, it's very low for me that I'll continue to buy physical cards. It's not worth the money. And when you're out there, yeah, you do look. I mean, that's the thrill. Oh,
Yeah.
sweet, they do have Pokemon cards. Oh, great. Let's grab some of this and that. And you go home, you open them, you get nothing. It's like, oh.
Hmm.
So that's where I'm at. I feel like it's become a nuisance. I don't think it's become something that is very exciting anymore. It's almost like, wow, I spent that much money and I didn't get anything.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at with this. And that's kind of like what the topic I want to talk about is how it has definitely have come down. It's coming down. It's continuously coming down. I think it all just started with like prismatic evolutions. Like it was just so the hype was just so huge, and like everything just it completely. I think it almost changed the hobby instead of to what they thought was going to be like. Oh, this is going to produce huge product lines, and it's going to like everybody's going to jump huge for this. To like now, like wow, it's completely changed the hobby. So
Yeah.
that's my point of view. And I don't know, what do you think, Oren? How do you feel about the about purchasing physical cards now?
Yeah, I know I'm with you. It's just the pull rates have, and that, I mean, that's always been the case. Well, not always.
Yeah.
So we've talked about Crown Zenith. Crown Zenith
Mm.
had really good pull rates. You always got something cool. And the cards were just, there's so many cool cards in Crown Zenith. And like, they weren't worth a lot of money because the pull rates were so good. But who cares? Like, the hobby isn't about, okay, yes, the hobby is about, and all, like collecting anything is about value. That's true. But at the same time, collecting is also about when you're opening sealed product, getting something fun. Like to make you want to do it again. And like it just hasn't been fun. That sounds like kind of how what you were expressing too. Like the fun has been sucked out of it. Um, like when I could buy packs for $3 all day long, and I would open up Obsidian Flames or Paldea Evolved and actually get something. That was
Yeah.
fun. Like I got a sale product and I actually pulled something. But now if a store actually has product, you're paying MSRP. No, there's never any sales because of the demand is so high. There's no justification for a sale. And then you get your products home, and sure, there are people pulling good stuff. I mean, just look at Reddit. It's full of posts of people getting good stuff. But we have no, like, we don't have the contrast pulls. We don't have the 99% of people showing their packs that had nothing.
Yeah.
Um, so like the reality is you're probably going to open your packs and not get anything, and that's no fun. Um, and like TCG Pocket, it's different because it's not physical and we're physical beings. So the physicality of the real cards is just makes it more tangible. But like I'm having fun still opening packs in TCG Pocket because like one, I didn't spend any money, and two, I get pulls and the pulls are fun and like they look cool and the art's just as good. And I'm probably more likely to look at it because it's on my phone and my phone's always in my pocket. Um, and just economically, like times are in this weird, we're in this weird era where people are having a harder and harder time affording necessities. And like, fortunately, we're both in a position where our necessities are cared for, and we have a little bit of spending money, like to buy packs here and there. But like, I'm getting to the point where like I don't want to spend my spending money because of what we don't know coming in the near future in terms of the economy. So it's just, I'm with you. Um, I I've lost. Okay, Paradox Rift, that was the perfect
Yeah.
era. Like
Yeah.
I pre-ordered two ETBs
Yep.
for $35. Like I paid $70 to get both ETBs launch day, pre-ordered, shipped to me. And I got them and it was a blast and I got good pulls and it was inexpensive. Like they like everything was like locked in for Pokemon trading card game. Product was available. The demand was like equivalent to the supply. Even actually, the demand was less than the supply because there were sales. Pull rates were great. Like the meta was great, and where things have the tide has changed. Demand is so high, supply is so low, prices are up, economy in general is down. It's just this really weird time, and it's
Yeah.
just it it isn't conducive to wanting to spend money on buying stuff to open.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And even like I meant to say like uh going back to Crown Zenith, I remember seeing Crown Zenith everywhere. Like even in Costco,
Yeah, yeah,
you always see the Lucario ETB. That was
yeah,
like the most common ETB. That one in was it Giratina? It's the one that's red. And it was Lucario and there was another one that was red. I don't even know. I think that was Scarlet Violet actually.
yeah, yeah,
I swear
yeah.
it
It
was
was
Scarlet Violet.
probably
But it
Horidon. Yeah,
Yeah, so but the thing was like it was always available.
yeah,
No matter what card shop you went to, there was Crowd Zenith. There was Crowd Zenith, there was Crowd Zenith. Like it's everywhere. If I would have known that, I would have been like, bro, I just bought all this Crowd Zenith and would have been like, maybe I should just collected that. But I was so into Scarlet Violet that I was like, no, I want Scarlet Violet.
right. Yep.
But I think, yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it. Like it's hard for us to even imagine how Paradox Rift was. So that wasn't that even that long ago,
I know. It was
you
like
know,
a year ago.
a year ago. It's impressive how vastly this Pokemon hobby has changed. Like,
Yeah,
and all from one set. I believe maybe it's just a plethora of things that have just happened to the economy and with Pokemon. But I think Pokemon company itself probably wasn't expecting, or maybe they were. Maybe that's why they did it. Maybe they're like, this is going to explode. This EV prismatic evolutions, and who knows? I mean, we don't. I think maybe it was just a plethora of just what they call it, a perfect storm
yeah,
of just like
yeah,
things just coming at the wrong time,
yep.
and
No,
now here we are.
yeah.
So it is an interesting time that we're living in.
I mean, fortunately, we have alternatives. We have TCG
Right.
Pocket. We have the video games because what's so nice about the video games is it's a one and done. Like Legends
Yeah.
ZA, $70. Like that's what people are like. People are spending $100 for an ETB of Destined Rivals on TCG Play right now. So for $30 less, I get a video game that's going to hold my attention for 100 plus hours. And that won't suck me dry. My wallet will stay full playing ZA because I don't have to pay for microtransactions.
Right.
Um, so like we do have alternatives that will keep us busy for Pokemon fans. It's just a matter of that self-control of not buying to open when it doesn't make sense. And right now,
Right.
for me personally, it just doesn't make sense. And fortunately, we have other alternatives for getting cards too, like TCG Player, like eBay. Um, Being able to buy singles and really being okay, like because there are people that just they're like I have to pull it myself, but just being okay with not pulling it yourself is going to really just benefit you as a human being. So if you can really just wrap your head around being okay with that, I think you're going to be better off.
Yeah. And Oren, just so our audience know, you finally got Prismatic Evolutions correct.
I did actually find Prismatic Evolutions the other
And
day.
how many
So
EVs did you pull?
how many evolutions?
Yeah.
I pulled two EXs. I pulled a Jolteon and a Vaporeon of the EX, the standard EX. And that was it out of 12 packs. And like, so the amount of the value of the cards that we pulled out of 12 packs is probably like $10 total. And those 12 packs, let me look up on TCG Player. What is one prismatic pack going for? Hold on a second. But yeah, so to answer your question, we had zero pulls. Um, well, zero secret arts or secret
Okay.
rares, zero secret rares.
Okay.
Prismatic Evolutions booster pack, $10.44.
Wow.
So, and we opened between Ariel, we opened two booster bundles, so 12 packs. And so so $10.44 a pack. Hold on, calculator. 1044 times 12. $125 of value if we were to resell them, minus fees and whatnot. Uh,
Yeah.
so let's pretend let's do 70%. Let's say we were to sell it for so that's like $90 worth of packs. And we probably pulled about on in terms of the value of the cards we got, $10. So yeah,
Wow.
we just burned money. We burned the amount of money that Legends ZA costs.
Right. Exactly.
That's how like this this hobby doesn't make sense.
I know it
Makes sense.
doesn't. So like Oren, like for us, like we spent, I think we spent a total of $70. I think
Okay.
we spent $70 and we got all of the evolutions.
Correct. You bought the singles, the
We
EX
got we
singles.
bought all
Yeah.
the singles.
Yeah.
And we spent about $70. So we spent
Yeah.
less than you did, and we
Yeah.
still got all the EXs.
Exactly. Yep. No, you did it. You did it the right way. Yeah.
But I think it was cool because I mean, it was like, oh yeah, I finally got Prismatic Evolutions. Well, I was shocked how much you got. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, this is awesome. And I was like, man, he's probably gonna get some good pulls. And oh,
No, it was
but
wild. Yeah, so I went to Best Buy on Wednesday, when people were lining up for Switch 2 for the Thursday release, the midnight release. And I bought a laptop. I was going there to pick it up. And I walk in and I see two dudes with like their arms full of like prismatic.
what?
I'm like, that's weird. And so I go back to where they had come from, and yeah, they were putting out prismatic. And this store, so no one's gonna hear this, but shout out to the North Olmsted Great Northern Best Buy. Specifically the manager there, Manny. He knows what he's doing. He's getting stuff done at that Best Buy. And he told me that so they put limits at that Best Buy, which was really great. And so they limited it to one prismatic ETB, two poster collections, 2 binder collections, 2 booster bundles per person. And that was it. And what's really cool about that, he told me that the Best Buy corporate, like the warehouse distribution centers, the more customers, like the more named customers that buy product, the more product Best Buy will allocate to that specific store.
Whoa.
Like if you have one customer, like pretend it's me, if Oren Safko buys all 20 ETBs, all 20 poster collections, all 20 binder collections, and I'm the only person, yeah, the store sold all of their product, but they sold it to one person. So the warehouse allocation center is going to then allocate less product to that store because only one person bought it. So by them limiting how much one individual could buy, they're actually going to get more product next time. And then they'll do it again. And then they'll get more product next time. So yeah, they're doing it right there at the North Homestead Best Buy. They know what
That
they're doing.
makes sense.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
So
great.
yeah, it was really fun actually seeing product. And that's probably going to be a rare occasion because like he told me usually the truck is there Wednesday mornings, and usually the people that know that will come to the store like half hour before it opens, line up, and then be there for the truck. I think the
Wow.
reason that the truck was because I was there at like 7 p.m. on Wednesday, and I think the reason that they got their truck in late was because of the Switch 2 release. I think
Mhm.
that the truck was delivering all the Switch 2 stuff.
That makes
Um,
sense.
so it
That
was
makes
just,
sense.
good coincidence. Right place, right time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, Warren.
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice. That's good to know when they come and they drop because it's like, oh, right place, right time.
Yeah. But I mean, Wednesday mornings, I'm typically not
Yeah.
available to go.
Right.
So,
Right.
oh well.
Nice, Warren.
Yep. Any more thoughts on buying physical? What about
I
continuing to do
just,
pre-releases?
yes, I feel like, as we mentioned before on the show, if you listen, pre-releases, I think, are probably one of the best ways to get cards because you get 4 packs in the beginning and then you get 4 pack or one or two at the end, I think,
Something like that.
something like that. But I think overall, yeah, that's the best way. And you get to see what cards you get to play with, what's coming out. Yeah,
Yep.
no, absolutely. No, I'm still all for it. I think we should continue to do our pre-releases. Yeah,
I
definitely.
completely agree. I
Yeah,
completely agree. Like,
yeah.
and what's great about it, so like Journey Together, we went to that pre-release. And even though we only got to open like 7 packs or whatever, like that was enough. That's all I needed.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have the itch to go buy more Journey Together. Like that took care of it. So yeah, I loved it. And it was a great value. It was like $30, $35. You have fun that night. It gets you out of the house. Yeah, I love pre-releases.
Yep, I agree. And I think if you have been able to go, yeah, I think it's been great. I know the last episode we had a couple comments that they were going to be able to be at one. So hopefully, yeah, we'll get to see more coming up soon.
Yeah, for
Definitely
sure.
gotta be on the calendar to see and not just creep up on us when
Yeah,
we won't
I
be able to
know.
go.
Like Destin Rivals. Man, when you texted me, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I'm like, wait, it's this weekend? Like, what?
Yeah,
Where
I
did
was like,
that
oh
come from? Oh
yeah.
well. Okay. Well, to wrap it up, I just wanted to share a couple things. Once I pre-ordered Legends Z, I immediately started getting like actually I had put my email address into the Pokemon Center's site so that they would inform me when the Legends ZA pre-release was available. And since then, I've started getting some like newsletter stuff from them for like a new product and stuff. So I just thought I'd share a couple things that I got emails on. First of all is the Go Ruck backpack collab.
Oh, I saw these.
Um,
Yeah.
so they have the Wobbuffet, Pikachu, and Gengar. And Gengar is already sold out, which is wild. These are not cheap backpacks. For for those that don't know, I am a bag guy. I love bags. These are not my type of a bag. I would not buy one of these. It's just not my style. But for those that are into this, here's just some quick photos of what these Go Ruck bags look like. And if you're a Pokemon Go person, there's even more reason to buy this. It says that for each bag you get a code, so that way you can get an in-game avatar bag. So if this is really your type of a bag, and if you buy it, you'll be able to wear this bag in Pokemon Go, and your character will match you in real life. So that's kind of neat. Um, so yeah, so the Go Ruck collab, I have a feeling that once they're sold out, they're sold out. So if you want it, go get it. And Gengar is gone already. And then one
That's
other email I received was for this, the Pearlescent
mm.
Flareon Funko Pop. Um, I I'm not a Funko Pop collector. I do have two. I have the original Gundam Funkos that came out.
Yeah.
Uh, but when it comes to Pokemon Funko, they just don't really do it for me. But this Flareon Pearlescent Funko is available at the time of this recording on June 6th. There have been other Pearlescent Funkos. As you can see on my screen, there's been a Vaporeon, there's a Jolteon that's still available, and there's also the Flareon, and then the Piplup as well. And then previously there was a Lapras, Cubone, and Vulpix. I have a feeling that these are also once sold out, they're probably gone for good. So Jolteon and Flareon are still available there. So yeah, just thought I'd share with you what I saw on some emails from the Pokemon Center there. If you're into merch, which I'm 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 a sucker for merch. Fortunately, I have a a built-in um, what's it called when something prevents you from doing something? Um, I can't think of a good word. But fortunately, I have a wife who helps me make good decisions on spending. Or else I'd have all of the merch.
Yeah,
So there's that. But
that's
yeah, so
hilarious.
if you need a backpack and you're a Pokemon person and you're a Pokemon Go person, check it out as well as the Funkos.
Yeah, I saw those backpacks weren't, and I was also on PokemonCenter.com, and yeah, all of them were available. And that it's shocking to me that yeah, you find them now that Gengar's already sold out. So
Yeah,
they're a
that's
hot
wild.
item. Yeah, pretty cray cray.
Yep.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that covers our topics that we had planned in our outline. So we would love to hear from you. Let us know how you feel about buying physical cards right now. How you feel about TCG Pocket if you've ever played in a tournament on Limitless, and how did it go?
Mhm.
Also, let us know, did you get a Switch too? And if so, why? We'd love to hear from you in the comments below. And for those that want to support the show, feel free to like and subscribe and just interact with us in the comments. But also, please check out pokecollab.com. And once you're on our site, we do have a link to our merch site. So please check out our merch. And we'd love to have you join or sign up on our website. It's totally free. There are various badges for doing certain things, for interacting and engaging. And the first 100 members get an alpha badge. So there are still some alpha badges available. And I think that covers all of my little announcements to wrap up. Again, we appreciate you being here. And also check out Ivan, where else can people find you online?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube and my channel, which is also on our site at Chard 216. There I do some TCG live battles, although I haven't done any because we've been doing this, and so I'm trying to get back in the swing of things.
You
And
should
then also
do you think you would ever record and stream TCG Pocket?
yeah, I think you mentioned that before, and I think I have found a way to do it. So I will be possibly doing that. I
Okay.
think I'm going to try and see what I can do. I know that we have a section in our website of Pokemon TCG Pocket Battle, so we may be using that. I'm thinking maybe one we can possibly use that for some battle. Um, I
Discussion.
don't know.
Yeah.
specials or like, something we can get into. And then also, yeah, I will be probably posting some pocket battles on my YouTube channel.
Okay,
Also, you
cool.
can, yeah, and then you can also check me out on TCG Player. And my uh tag there is Charred, CHARRD.
Okay, awesome. And then you can find me on TCG Player as well, Block and Pixel. And then also find me on YouTube, Block and Pixel as well. And we appreciate you being here. And we will see you the next time we record. We look forward to it. And as always, this is Poké Collab, where we collect, train, and battle together. See you next time.
Hey guys.